Yes. Thank you once again. As we continue to read the scripture, today we're going to be reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 18. We're continuing from Genesis, chapter 17. As I say, we're reading daily. And Genesis, chapter 18 speaks about the son is promised. When it says son is promised, this is when the Lord came, was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, when he paused by Abraham and he gave him this wonderful news. So let us continue. As he said, then the Lord appeared to him by the tabernacle tree of Mamre, and he was sitting in the tent door in the heat of the day. So it got to be normally 12 o'clock time. So he lifted his eyes and looked, and behold, 3 men were standing by him. And when he saw them, he ran from the tent door to meet them, and bowed himself to the ground, and said, My Lord, if I have now found favor in your sight, do not pass on by your servant. Please let a little water be brought, and wash your feet and rest yourself under the tree. Wow. You hear that? Lucky that Abraham saw him. And I will bring a morsel of bread, that you may refresh your heart. After that you may pass by. Inasmuch as you have come to your servant, they said, do as you have said. So Abraham hurried into the tent to Sarah and said, Quickly, make ready 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cake. And Abraham ran to the herbs, took a tender and good calf, gave it to a young man, and he hastened to prepare it. Well, it basically means he gave him the young calf, and he hurried and he prepared it. Okay? So he took butter and milk and the calf which he had prepared, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree as they eat. Then they said to him, Where is Sarah your wife? So he said, Here in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return to you according to the time of life. And behold, Sarah your wife shall have a son. Wow. The Lord tell him that. So you must always greet your guests. Try your best to do something nice to someone. You never know the blessing that will follow. Do you know why they say she laughed? She laughed because of what the Lord said. Because her earthly ways laughed, but she didn't know that Jesus is above all. She feel to herself she's too old to have a son. But with God, anything is possible. Trust me. Let us continue. And Sarah was listening in the tent door, which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well advanced in age, and Sarah has passed the age of childbearing. Do you understand that? They were advanced. They are old. But you're not old in God's eyes. In God's eyes, He make you. So we're gonna continue. Just hear the most wonderful thing that happened. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I have grown old, shall I pleasure my Lord being old also? Let me go back. After I have grown old, shall I have pleasures, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said to Abraham, Why did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I surely bear a child, since I am old? Abram did not hear she laughed. She laughed within herself. She laughed in her mind. But the Lord knows all, he sees all. And he asks Abram why she laughed. And let's hear why she laughed. Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I will return to you according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. And he said, No, but you did laugh. So she denies. She was afraid to tell the Lord. She thought she would be punished or something. That she laughed. But he knows. Then the men rose from there and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to send them on their way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I am doing? Since Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nation of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I have known him in order that he may command his children and his household after him, that they kept the ways of the Lord, to do righteousness and justice, that the Lord may bring to Abraham what he has spoken to him. And the Lord said, Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very great. Yes, because their sin is very great, it grieved the Lord. I will go down now and see whether they have done all together according to the outcry against it that has come to me, and if not, I will know. Then the men turned away from there and went toward Sodom, but Abram still stood before the Lord. And Abram came near and said, Would you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there were 50 righteous within the city, would you also destroy the place and not spare it for, say, 50 righteous and were in it? So you're debating with God right now. So he said, For far be it for you do not do such thing as this, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous should be as the wicked. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? So the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake. Then Abram answered and said, Indeed, now I who am but dust and ash have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. So he's reasoning with God, and he says, Now that I am dust, he is but dust. He's speaking. Well, he's not worthy. That's what he's trying to say. He's not even worthy to speak to God, but he is speaking to God. He's reasoning with God. He's the only man that does that. We never realize in the Bible. Reason with God. And he and Moses, because Moses asked a question, will they listen to me? And he said, I will put the words in your mouth. So anyway, let us continue. We are continuing from 28. Suppose there were 5 less than the 50 righteous, would you destroy all the city for lack of 5? So he said, If I find there 40. So anyway, it was a simple mistake. So he said 50, then he said 45. And the Lord said, If I find 45, I won't destroy. And then Abram started to reason more. If you find 45, if you didn't find 45, and you find 40, will you still destroy them? And he said no. And he goes on and on and on until he said, Lord, if you find, suppose you find 10, should it be found there? And they didn't even add 10. Imagine 10 righteous people in a whole city they couldn't find. Just imagine the level of wickedness that went on there. So the Lord went his way as soon as he had finished speaking with Abram, and Abram returned to his place. Yes, they couldn't find the 10. Let's give you a heads up. From chapter 19, when the two evil cities will be destroyed. What a great sight. And so much good thing to listen to. In the whole city, they couldn't find 10 righteous people. Just imagine. And you understand, the Lord will leave his throne and come here to see exactly what we are doing before we make any decision. He did the same thing with the Tower of Babel, and the same thing with Noah, and he did the same thing with Abraham. So my brothers and sisters, God just don't do something because he's God. He comes, he sees, he knows all, but he still comes to see what we are doing, and he still loves us. And he tries countlessly for us to restore ourselves with him. So continue to join me as we continue to read the scripture, as we're going to continue Genesis chapter 19, and you're going to finally know what happened to the two evil cities. Take care till next time. Goodbye.